Hi everyone, welcome to the webinar and workshop series conducted by TCS in lieu of the upcoming OCS exams happening in February 2025. My name is Nick and I'm the lead tutor and evaluator for OCS at TCS. So let's look at the session plan. First things first, I'm going to take you through one of the questions taken from mock exam 1 concerning the E1 syllabus, and also I will be conducting a Q&A session right after taking you through the mock exam. So before we get into the technicalities, let me quickly remind you of the upcoming workshop which we have scheduled for you. So this final workshop, which is happening 2 or 3 days before your exam, is happening on the 2nd of February, which is a Sunday, at the same time. And in this last session, I will be sharing last-minute tips with you to make sure that you walk into the exam with a high level of positivity, believing in your skill set. So let's move on to the discussion of the mock exam. So I want to direct your attention towards, as I mentioned earlier, I want to direct your attention towards mock exam 1. And I will be focusing on section number 4, the last section, the final subtask. So this is a subtask which has everything to do with your E1 syllabus. And this is about handling redundancies. So let's go through this question. If we adopt full automation within assembly operations, it will lead to redundancies within the department. BackOffice predominantly uses manual labor within its assembly department at present. So this requirement is connected with the previous two requirements. So this scenario highlights a situation where we are trying to pursue 100% automation, and we are trying to, automate our assembly operations. And if we are successful in this type of automation, then we will have to get rid of some of our employees, or we'd have to get rid of all of our employees in the future. So if we adopt full automation within assembly operations, it will lead to redundancies within our department. BackOffice predominantly uses manual labor within its assembly department at present. So the requirement is to describe how these probable redundancies can be handled in an ethical manner. So let's try to figure out how you need to structure the answer. So as I've taught in webinar number 3, answering technique, I said that before you develop the answer plan, right after reading through the scenario, the best practice is to reiterate the requirement in your own words in a concise manner. So that's exactly what you can see here. If you look at the answer plan concerning the last subtask, managing redundancies ethically. So that's how I have simplified the requirement with the intention of ensuring that we gain a clear understanding of what you are expected to achieve when developing the answer. And also it helps you whilst developing the answer plan. Halfway through the answer plan, you can always refer back to a simplified requirement and easily figure out whether your answer is aligned with the requirement. And the next step is to understand mark allocations based on the weightage provided. So the weightage is 40%, and 37.5 marks are allocated in total for each section. So 40% of 37.5 marks come up to 15 marks in total. And the next step is to determine how many points you need to include within this subtask. So as you know, each valid point carries 2 or 3 marks. So in order to gain 15 marks, you need to come up with 5 to 7 valid points in your answer. So each valid point carries 2 or 3 marks. So 15 divided by 2 or 15 divided by 3 comes up to 5 to 7 valid points under this subtask. So let's try to figure out how you need to develop the answer plan. So I'm moving to the last part of your mock exam and its answer plan. So I've started my answer by developing a main heading, which goes as managing redundancies in an ethical manner, which is in a bold and underlined format. And on top of that, for each strategy which I've highlighted to manage redundancies in an ethical manner, I've come up with subheadings. There's no hard and fast rule which says that you have to come up with subheadings, but in order to make my life easy, I've come up with different subheadings focused on each strategy. And for each, and each subheading is in bold format. So first things first, when trying to manage these redundancies, what can we do? We should contemplate on internal transfers. We need to think whether the existing skills which are used within the assembly department can be utilized within some other manufacturing related department within our organization. If so, we can relocate these employees who are going to lose their jobs. We can relocate these employees within a different part of our manufacturing process. However, the problem is you can only do this if there is a need for these type of employees. And on top of that, these employees can be easily relocated with a minimal amount of training. So this is possible if existing skills can be used within another department. Existing assembly related skills can be used within another department within our manufacturing process. And if we opt for this these type of internal transfers, it is going to be cost effective because we need not pay redundancy payments. We need not pay any compensation. Instead, it's simply a matter of relocating these individuals within a different part of our own organization. And this boosts motivation of affected employees when they know for a fact that we are not kicking them out. Instead, we are taking steps to, ensure that they are located within the organization, which indicates the fact that we are concerned about the needs of our employees, which leads to better levels of motivation. And as I mentioned earlier, this is only applicable if other departments have work to be assigned, because if there aren't any labor shortages within other departments of our company, then it makes absolutely no sense for us to overload employees into other departments, simply given the fact that assembly employees are going to lose their jobs. So other departments should have some type of labor shortage. If not, we should not go for internal transfers. And on top of that, employees who are getting transferred should agree to this process as well, because not all employees will, opt for internal transfers. Some might want to leave as well. So you need to, communicate these type of information pertinent to internal transfers with your employees and get their consent before relocating them. And then if internal transfers don't work, and if we can't internally transfer all employees who are losing out their jobs, we have to provide some type of assistance to the individuals who are going to lose their jobs. So the first thing which we can do is to opt for job placements. So this is something to do with us providing assistance to these individuals who are losing their jobs, so that they have the opportunity to look out for jobs or seek jobs in the market. So we should provide career counseling. And on top of that, we should help them with CV writing, because when you are, looking for jobs, definitely you'd have to, come up with a proper CV. And there could be employees who had been working with us for a long period of time. So because of that, they might not have updated their CVs, or they might, since these are assembly employees, they might not know how to update their CVs properly. So focused on these individuals, we have to provide CV writing advice. And also we can help them link up with headhunters, or we can get in touch with headhunters or recruitment consultants, in other terms, and make sure that these individuals can easily find jobs from the market. And another option at our disposal is to go for VRS, or commonly known as a voluntary retirement scheme. This is a situation where we explain the current situation to the affected employees. We have to tell them as to why they are going to lose their jobs, because if we don't communicate openly, this leads to misconceptions or miscommunications, and misconceptions leads to conflicts in the future. So in order to avoid all these conflicts, we have to explain the current situation. We have to tell them why we are forced to get rid of them, and therefore at the same time we have to convince employees to accept the VRS. So a VRS is a situation where we ask employees to voluntarily retire, and in return we are making a compensation payment. So in a practical sense, what usually happens is a company usually pays 4 months or 6 months salary in advance and ask employees to leave. So this is known as a VRS. So this is going to be extremely costly because we have to pay 4 to 6 months retirement benefits or compensation, or 4 to 6 months salaries as compensation payments, which is going to be extremely expensive. However, this usually leads to a smooth redundancy process, because when employees know for a fact that because of us opting for automation, we don't have any other option but to go for a VRS. They know for a fact that they also don't have an option other than to seek for jobs, and they have enough time to seek for jobs because we are paying them 4 to 6 months salary. So even if they take 4 months or 6 months to find a job, still they are compensated because they are receiving a lump sum as a compensation payment. So their lives will not be negatively impacted because of a VRS. So because of this, if we opt for VRS, this will lead to a smooth redundancy process. However, it is going to be extremely costly for us. And also, we can offer paid time off work. This is a situation where we offer months of paid leave so that employees can seek jobs and attend interviews. So what usually happens is we ask them, so after explaining to them as to why they are being made redundant, we tell them, okay, don't come to office for about 2 to 3 months. For these months, we are going to pay you. And within this time period, within 2 or 3 months, go seek jobs, because if you ask them to come to work, they won't have time to attend interviews or seek jobs. So with the intention of ensuring that they have enough time to attend job interviews and prepare for interviews and whatnot, we give them some paid time off work. And this will help lessen the resistance towards the redundancy process, because the assembly employees will not be happy to know that we are getting rid of them. So in such an environment, definitely we will have to face some type of resistance. So if we take steps to make sure that we are thinking about the needs of these employees, then it will lessen the resistance towards the redundancy process. So that's exactly what paid time of work will help us achieve. And ultimately, if we can't, after offering all these things, we'd have to, go for a redundancy process, and this should be the last option. Right after opting for automations, we should not blindly make people redundant, because if so, it will lead to a lot of resistance, and resistance leads to conflicts in the future. Also, the existing employees who still have jobs will know for a fact that they can be easily replaced, and at the same time, when they are replaced, we are not thinking about what they'd have to go through. Instead, they'd know for a fact that we'd instantaneously start cutting off jobs. So that's something which we should avoid at all costs. Why is this the case? Because we should make sure that everyone who is working at back office is motivated and they want to work with us. So after trying out all these strategies which I explained right now, as the last resort, we have to let go of individuals due to us opting for automation. And it is legal to lay off workers, definitely. However, some might say that it is unethical. But if we provide compensation, if we go for a VRS option, or if we go for paid time off work, then a redundancy process is considered as ethical. So it's unethical if we simply kick off people without even informing them properly. So the ethical way to handle a redundancy process is to make sure that we give them all opportunities to seek jobs. We help them find jobs as well. And on top of that, we compensate them if possible. If so, it leads to an ethical process of means of making people redundant. All right, so that's how you should tackle a question. Definitely, this type of a question can be tested, because back office relies on manual labor a lot, so they can benefit a lot by opting for automation. They can significantly reduce their costs by opting for automation. So in such an instance, definitely we'd have to face redundancies. If so, now you know how to tackle this type of a question or how to manage redundancies in an ethical manner. Okay, so that's what I wanted to highlight. And another question concerning your E1 syllabus appears within the same mock exam. And let me take you to this question. It is a question based on big data, the pros and cons of relying on big data. The question and its answer appears in the first workshop which we have conducted, focused on the November 2024 exams. So the recorded version is up on our YouTube handle. So please go watch the recorded version, which we conducted about 2 months back, in which I've explained how to structure an answer to do with big data. All right, so having said that, let me quickly mention what we offer at TCS. So if you're yet to create a free user account, click on this button and create your own free user account. And via this account, you'd gain access to the recorded versions of the weekly webinars and workshops which we conduct. And at the same time, you will also gain access to the free mock exam, its suggested answer, and the answer plan. And if you want to invest on our paid content, click on this button and check the sample material before you do so. And if you're yet to join our OCS WhatsApp discussion forum, click on this button and join it. If you have any questions, you can get them answered via this forum. And on top of that, we will be sharing a lot of free resources via this group. So it's best that you join this OCS WhatsApp discussion forum. And we offer 2 packages, the value pack and the premium pack. The value pack is designed for those who are coming through the CIMA general route. So those who have completed E1, F1 and P1 OTQs are already conversant with theories. So if you are such a student, you simply need to work on your application. So via the value pack, you'd gain access to the 6 mock exams and suggested answers, and we have made sure to cover all syllabus elements covered within your E1, F1 and P1 syllabi by developing these 6 mock exams. So it's essential that you gain access to them with the intention of significantly increasing your chances of passing. And on top of the free mock exam, the 6 mock exams rather, you will gain access to hordes of other content which appears within the value pack, which is priced at £199. And talking about the premium pack, this is designed for those who are coming through the exemption route and those who had failed the OCS exam previously. Both these types of students have the same problem. There are gaps in theory knowledge and issues with application. So we have come up with additional resources with the intention of fixing your theory knowledge and improving your application skills. So on top of what appears under the value pack, you'd gain access to the online mock exam platform on which you can attempt all 6 mock exams under exam conditions. You will receive in-depth tutor feedback focused on the last 3 mock exams, namely mocks 4, 5, and 6. And you'd also gain access to answer plans of all 6 mock exams, which makes your life easy when it comes to conducting revision and when it comes to understanding how to structure each answer, how to bring in theories when developing answers, and how to work on your application. And a while back, you saw what an answer plan looks like and how it makes your life easy when it comes to understanding the structure and logic behind each answer. You will also gain access to 20 masterclasses. So you experienced how we conduct masterclasses a while back as well, because whilst taking you through this question to do with redundancies, I explained the theoretical elements, and at the same time, I explained how to work on your application, thereby developing an answer which is totally aligned with the scenario at hand. So just like how I explained the question and the answer, I've explained the questions and answers of all mock exams which we have developed via the 20 masterclasses. And this is the best way to learn theory and improve application in a jiffy. And once you have access to all these content, you will pass for sure. Hence, we are offering a pass guarantee under the premium package. So if you invest on the premium pack and end up failing, you will gain access to the premium content in your subsequent sitting free of charge. However, in order to claim the pass guarantee, you have to complete these 3 requirements. You have to complete all 6 mock exams to make sure that you are conversant with how each syllabus element can be tested at your exam. And when attempting each mock exam, do it on your own. Don't refer to the suggested answers, the answer plans, or the master classes. Why is this the case? Because the objective of attempting each mock exam under exam conditions is to make sure that you practice your answering and time management technique, and at the same time you encounter stressful situations, and when conducting your revision you can overcome all these issues which you encounter when attempting mock exams. And you have to meet the performance criteria of 40% or higher focused on the last 3 mock exams, especially given the fact that we have come up with this performance criteria to make sure that you do a serious job when attempting the last 3 mocks, especially since we are providing tutor feedback for them. So once you complete these 3 requirements, you will pass for sure, hence the pass guarantee. So the premium pack is priced at £599, which can be paid in 2 installments of £249 each, or if you opt to pay in full, you will save £100. And if that is the case, the price is just £499. So you can invest on your preferred package by clicking on either of these buttons. And if you are sticking to our original 8-week study plan, let's see what we are supposed to achieve within this week. We are in week number 7, and you are supposed to allocate 9 hours of study time, 3 hours to attempt the mock exam, 3 hours to watch the master classes, and something like 1.5 to 2 hours to redevelop answer plans. So you are supposed to direct your attention towards mock number 6. You are supposed to focus on mock number 6. So attempt mock number 6 via the exam platform. As you know, we have developed an exam platform which is the exact replica of the Pearson VUE system on which you'd attempt your real examination. So attempt the exam under real exam conditions, which is the best way to master your answering, time management, and stress management techniques. And once you have done so, watch the master classes focused on mock 6 with the intention of understanding how to structure each answer, and at the same time learning the theoretical concepts covered within mock number 6 and improving your application skills. Then your preparation should not stop there. You need to figure out whether you have gained something by watching these master classes, whether you are in a position to replicate the answer plans which we have explained via these master classes. So with this in mind, you are supposed to redevelop answer plans focused on mock 6. This is when you are conducting revision. This is when you are trying to figure out whether you are capable of developing answer plans which are akin to the answer plans provided by TCS. And for mock number 6, you are receiving tutor feedback. So you are supposed to refer to the personalized tutor feedback which we offer with the intention of understanding what your shortcomings are, and then focused on the subtasks which are highlighted in yellow. You are supposed to redevelop answer plans on your own. So this is what you're supposed to do within this week. And if you're sticking to our 3-week study plan, within this week, you are supposed to attempt 2 mock exams. So I hope you guys are involved with your preparation. So don't wait until the last moment. Keep moving forward. You might feel stressed at this moment. That's quite all right. That's quite normal. Even if you have done all your work, you will feel stressed. All students feel stressed closer towards an exam because this is a tough examination. It's not easy, but don't worry. Stick to the process, because if you stick to our 3-step process, which is to attempt a mock exam, then watch master classes to learn theory and improve application, and then if you redevelop answer plans, you need not worry about the outcome at your exam, because you will be, by the time you are done with all 6 mocks, and by the time you are done with revision focused on the same 6 mock exams, you will know how each syllabus element is tested at the exam. And when you know how each syllabus element is tested, you'd know how to structure your answers appropriately at your real examination. If so, you'd pass for sure. So that's exactly why we achieved a 92% pass rate at the OCS exams, which happened in November 2024. And Davis, who was the highest scorer in November 2024 sittings, achieved 112 marks simply by sticking to our study plan. And this was a student who came through the exemption route and came through FLP. And this was this student's first CIMA examination, and ended up acing it by achieving 112 marks when the pass mark is just 80. So you can achieve the same thing. And when getting in touch with Davis, he was afraid of the exam. He was stressed closer to the exam, although he was, adhering to our study plan. And even after the exam, when I got in touch with him, he was really upset with his performance. He thought that he has, not done a good job. This is quite normal as well, because it's not easy to sit in one place and be exposed to stress under when you're operating in a time pressured environment. So, although this individual thought that he had failed the OCS exam when the results were out, actually he has aced it. So stick to the process, believe in the process, and focus your attention towards improving your skill set, because it's nothing to do with you trying to memorize answers. It won't help you. Instead, try to get to the root of each question and try to understand the logic behind each answer. If so, you will succeed at your real examination. Okay, so having said that, I'm moving on to the Q&A. Let me pause the recording. All right, folks. So seems like there aren't any questions. So before we wind up, I forgot to actually take you through the E1 related syllabus elements, which you have to be conversant with when conducting your preparations rather. So your knowledge pertaining to CGMA cost transformation model will be tested at the exam, as well as digital costing. Although these elements are covered in your E1 syllabus, it actually falls under your P1 syllabus as well. That's why I've categorized these two elements under costing and pricing, because the CGMA cost transformation model has everything to do with costing. And whenever we are pursuing to achieve sustainability, then it will expose us to a different set of costs, and how our costs within the organization will transform when pursuing sustainability. So all these things are covered within the CGMA cost transformation model. And your knowledge pertaining to digital costing will be tested as well, because in this day and age, any company opts for digital costing with the intention of increasing the accuracy and efficiency of the costing initiatives conducted within an organization. And additionally, certain elements which are tied to short-term decision making, which appears within your E1 syllabus, will be tested at the exam. So your knowledge pertaining to how to conduct a business in an ethical manner. I took you through a similar question which is tied to handling redundancies ethically in today's session. And your knowledge pertaining to CSR, Carroll's CSR model will be tested. Then managing redundancies, which was covered within this session, and artificial intelligence and its benefits, how it would benefit backpack manufacturers such as BackOffice, and non-financial factors to consider tied to decision making will be tested at the exam. So yeah, so these are the elements. As you can see, this not a lot of E1 elements tested at the exam, because as I've mentioned throughout this webinar and workshop series, a high level of prominence is provided towards your P1 and F1 syllabi. And if you want to contact us, you can do it via our website, which is www.study@tcs.com. Visit our website and click on the contact button and drop your message. Our admin staff will get in touch with you via email. And if you want to email us, you can do so via info@study@tcs.com or WhatsApp us on this number. And I urge you guys to follow us on our social media handles, especially YouTube and TikTok, because the recorded versions of the webinars and workshops, the weekly webinars and workshops are uploaded to our YouTube handle. And I urge you guys to watch the recording of the first workshop, in which I've taken you through a question to do with big data, as I mentioned earlier. And I conducted it focused on November 2024 exams. However, the pre-scene is the same for February 2025 sitting. So go watch the recorded version to gain an understanding of how to tackle a question to do with big data, its pros and cons and whatnot. And on top of that, I invite you guys to follow us on TikTok, because we have developed a set of pre-scene mind maps via the TikTok handle. And by watching these set of TikTok videos, you'd gain a good understanding of the most important elements which are covered within your pre-scene. And also, since these are the final days, I want you to reread the blog post if possible, which is accessible via our website. So go to the blog page and click on this button and read the blog post to brush up your knowledge about what your company and its industry is up to. So having said that, it brings us to the end of today's workshop. I hope you gained something out of this. And in these final days, I want you to keep moving forward. Even if you feel stressed, don't worry. Whenever you are attempting a mock exam, definitely you will feel stressed. Why is this the case? Because you are facing a question for the first time, and you won't know how to develop 100% accurate answers or highly successful answers. However, when you are conducting revision, when you are redeveloping answer plans, you can fix all these issues. So do the hard yards now so that you would be comfortable at your real examination. So I expect to see you guys in our next webinar, or sorry, the last workshop rather, which is happening on next Sunday, in which I'm going to share last minute tips with you. So thank you for joining. I'll see you guys next Sunday.